Hi, so I'm Danielle, and I am about to start going through some very interesting life changes in the next couple of years. And I decided that I wanted to start this channel in order to document these changes in my life and to sort of have some sort of record of where I've been versus where I'm going. So I've already started sort of making these lifestyle changes. And I really just wanted to. There's a bird outside, of course. Okay. And I really just wanted to be able to see my progress as I'm growing and learning because I'm young. I'm only 17 and I'm going to be 18 very soon. And this, I feel, is going to be okay, the most dramatic learning curve of my young life. And I want to start young implementing things that I think are healthy. So when I do become 26 and 27 and 28, I'm already there and I don't have to work through those learning curves. So, what I mean by lifestyle changes is things like switching from an animal based diet to a plant based diet and slowly decluttering my life of material goods and decluttering my life of mental strains and stresses and learning to use my body in an efficient way to maximize its potential. And what I mean by that is learning to be fit and be able to use my body in a healthy way. When I was younger, I was significantly overweight, and I have spent a large majority of my life trying to get myself to a healthy weight. And right now, my body is at a weight that would be considered normal for my height. I'm 5'9". And that's fine, but I want to now take that leap from just being at an okay weight to being fit and being healthy. And this is something I've never done before with my body. And I wanted a place to kind of meld all these ideas and just document how it goes for me. Um, like I said, I'm only 17 years old, so I don't know really much about anything really. I'm not a professional with any of this stuff, but I wanted to be able to share with people this journey that I'm going on. Because personally, as I've been growing and been doing my own thing, I've looked to other people for this sort of inspiration, and it's been very inspiring for me to see people my age doing stuff like this with their life, and I figured that I might as well share mine too. Um, I don't really have where I don't really have very many people in my life in terms of friends that I can really share this sort of stuff with. Not a lot of people understand, and I have a very hard time opening up about this side of my life, even though it is a very big part of my life, with the people around me. And I figured that by creating this YouTube, it's one thing that is very out of my comfort zone that I've never really done before. And it could be a way to meet other people or be able to share these experiences with other people who have similar ones as I. Um, like I said, not many of the people around me understand why I would want to live in the way that I would like to live. And when I say the way I want to live is in the way, there is now a siren going on. Okay. Is in a way of consuming less and living more freely. And when I say consuming, I mean consuming obviously in the way of material goods. I want to cut down my consumption of material goods to be able to see what it is that I truly want and see what it is that I truly need. I very much love buying things and I love spending things. I'm a very sentimental person. And sometimes being a very sentimental person means keeping on to a lot of things that really I think have value but don't have value. But also when I say consuming, I mean just in what I put into my body and the way that I consume my energy in my body. I'm very awkward right now. I'm looking over and I know that I should be focusing right here. So when I say consuming, I also mean, like I just said, within my body and the way I consume its energy. I have been switched over to a plant-based diet for about 6 months now, and I've personally really loved it. I obviously did it because I needed to help my body shed some of its extra weight. Obviously, that's one of the reasons that I did it. But I also did it because I realized that the food that I was eating was bogging me down. It was limiting my body's potential. And I figured that one way that I could help clean it up is to cut out some of my temptations. And some of my temptations were at that time dairy products and processed foods and such like that. And I figured that at least for as long as I could, I wanted to cut down my consumption of animal products and such. And I was already a vegetarian, so making that next step to cutting out dairy products in general wasn't as hard as it could have been for me. It was still a challenge, but it was a good challenge and it was good for my body. I'm realizing that I'm very much rambling right now. But also, I mean consumerism in the way that my body consumes its energy. Just because I have a plant-based diet doesn't necessarily mean that I am giving my body exactly what it needs. And I'm beginning to realize that now when I'm starting to feel this bogged down sense in my body, just physically and mentally. And I decided that I wanted to switch to more raw foods and raw eating. And I consider myself a plant-based person, not because I do still have some dairy products. I don't eat without knowing any foods that have animal products in it, but I consider myself plant-based because sometimes I do slip up. Sometimes I do eat something that I don't realize has a dairy product in it, and then I'm just like, okay, never gonna eat that again. But I also consider myself plant-based because I don't necessarily eat as many fruits and vegetables and raw, nutritionally dense foods as I know I should. And I also do consume some product that is not vegan. I do have some shoes that are made out of leather and stuff like that. That is one of the reasons why I would not consider myself vegan. But like I said, for me, it is a slow process of switching over to this lifestyle, and I'm slowly pushing out those things in my life that I know are not cruelty free, and I know that do have some animal products in it and stuff. Like, I'm slowly switching over my products, like the lotions that I use and the hair products that I use and the makeup that I use and the chapstick that I use. I just finally got around to the other day actually switching out my chapstick for one that didn't have any beeswax in it. So that is one reason why I consider myself a plant-based person and not yet somebody who is vegan. I would not use that title for myself, although I do actively not eat or consume any animal products. So that was a small introduction into who I am and mostly what this channel is going to be about. I'm really nervous, but also pretty excited to start this channel. Obviously, I don't have top quality stuff. I'm just filming on my iPhone, and it's stacked up on a bunch of candles that I have and stuff. But I'm pretty excited to be able to document my growth just as a person for the next however long I continue this up. Because I know that the next year, year and a half, 2 years, I'm going to be going through a lot of changes, and I want to see how I develop through these changes. So if you would like to stick around on this journey, please do, and I'll see you next time.